dedication to luxury. This is the Range Rover SV.
What if I told you the new Range Rover SV is no longer trying to be just a luxury SUV? It is now trying to be the one SUV that can replace your limousine, your grand tourer, your off-roader, and in some versions, even your chauffeur car. And honestly, that is exactly why the officially revealed 2026 Range Rover SV is so interesting, because on paper it brings 606 power, a 4.4-liter mild hybrid twin-turbo V8, a 0 to 60 time of 4.3 seconds, at a top speed of 162 miles per hour, while still offering features like body and soul seats, rear entertainment, climate luxury, and signature long wheelbase comfort. That combination is what makes this not just another expensive SUV, but one of the most complete luxury machines on sale right now. Hello and welcome back to the Car Analyst. If you love honest car talk, deep analysis, real ownership opinions, and not just brochure hype, you are in the right place. And today we are breaking down the new 2026 Range Rover SV, including the newly highlighted SV Black, all the important features, the real-world ownership costs, the pros and cons, and the one question that matters most at the end of this video. Should you actually buy one, or is this simply a beautiful ultra-luxury flex with a very expensive bill attached? Now first, let's be clear. This is not an all-new platform reset. What Range Rover has done here is refine and elevate the current flagship formula, and they have pushed the SV identity harder than before. The regular SV already sits at the top of the lineup, but now the SV Black turns the design into something darker, more aggressive, and more dramatic, with high-gloss Narvik black paint, gloss black detailing, special moonlight chrome, and satin black ceramic accents, and a ceramic SV roundel that makes it look more exclusive without becoming loud in a cheap way. It is classy, but also menacing, the kind of SUV that does not need to shout because everybody already noticed it. And then there is the stance. Range Rover says the SV now comes standard with 23-inch wheels, and that matters because big luxury SUVs can sometimes look soft or underwheeled. This one doesn't. In the Serenity theme, you get a more elegant and jewelry-like approach with bronze-style accents and mosaic craftsmanship. In the Intrepid theme, you get a stealthier look with satin black wheels, black inserts, darker trims, and a much more performance-focused vibe. So if you want the polished royal spec feel, Serenity makes sense. If you want something closer to a luxury assassin on wheels, Intrepid or SV Black is the one. Inside is where this SUV starts justifying the SB badge. Officially, you get 13.1-inch rear seat entertainment on the SV, cabin air purification pro, semi-aniline leather seating, electric rear side window sunblinds, a clear sight interior rear view mirror, 4-zone climate control, and the now famous body and soul seat system. Range Rover says that system has evolved further, with in-seat and sensory floor pulsations working with the speakers to create a more immersive experience. And it is now available in both the first and second row. On higher specs and special suites, rear passengers can also get features like a rear touchscreen controller, wireless charging, an illuminated fridge compartment, deployable cup holders, and even deployable club tables. That is not just luxury. That is aircraft lounge energy. But what I really like is that the tech is not just about screens. A lot of luxury SUVs throw in giant displays and call it innovation. Range Rover still seems to care about comfort, visibility, and calmness. Officially, the Range Rover offers a 12-inch interactive driver display, an optional head-up display, 3D surround camera, clear sight ground view, clear sight interior rear view mirror, adaptive cruise control with steering assist, blind spot assist, park assist, and traffic sign recognition. It also keeps serious chassis hardware like all-wheel steering, electronic air suspension, terrain response 2, and dynamic response pro. So unlike some ultra-luxury rivals that feel amazing on city roads but nervous when the pavement ends, the Range Rover still remembers it is supposed to be capable anywhere. Now let's talk performance, because this is where the SV becomes more than just a plush flagship. The official numbers are strong: 606 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, a 4.4-liter mild hybrid twin-turbo V8, and 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. For something this large, this luxurious, and this upright, that is seriously quick. And that is what makes the SV impressive. It is not pretending to be a track SUV like some super SUV rivals. Instead, it delivers deep, effortless speed. It feels like the kind of power that does not need drama. You squeeze the throttle and it just moves with authority. Personally, I think that suits the Range Rover character perfectly. This car should feel expensive first and fast second, and the SV seems to understand that balance. Now we have to talk money, because this is where fantasy meets reality. Official US pricing for the 2026 Range Rover SV starts at $219,500, while the SV Black starts at $238,900 in the listings. And Kelley Blue Book shows the range-topping 2026 Range Rover P6 SV Black LWB at $263,050. For context, the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600 starts at about $180,000 in the US. The 2026 Bentley Bentayga is expected to start around $210,000, and the 2026 Rolls-Royce Cullinan starts at about $441,350. So the Range Rover SV sits above the Maybach GLS, roughly in Bentley territory depending on spec, and far below a Cullinan. That makes the SV expensive, yes, but not irrational in this class. In fact, if you want ultra-luxury presence without entering Rolls-Royce pricing, the Range Rover makes a very strong case, but price is only the first bill. Ownership cost is where many people get shocked. The official destination charge for Range Rover is $20,450, and the EPA listing for the 2026 Range Rover SV MHEV shows 18 mil P-Gacan combined, 16 city and 23 highway, with a total range of about 428 miles and an estimated annual fuel cost of around $30,850 on premium gasoline. Add to that very expensive tires, luxury car insurance, premium registration costs in many markets, and the reality that repairs and maintenance on high-end British SUVs are never bargain bin cheap. Yes, Land Rover does back new vehicles with a 4-year or 50,000-mile warranty and roadside assistance, which helps early on, but make no mistake, this is not a cheap SUV to live with. This is the kind of vehicle you buy when you are comfortable paying for the experience, not when you are trying to optimize value. So here is the honest pros and cons part. The pros are easy to see. The design is still one of the cleanest and most elegant in the segment. The road presence is massive without looking cartoonish. The interior feels genuinely special. The rear seat experience is among the best in luxury SUVs. The performance is properly strong. The off-road and chassis technology still give it an identity that most rivals cannot copy. And the SV-specific craftsmanship, themes, and bespoke options make it feel personal in a way many German luxury SUVs do not. The cons are just as real. Fuel economy is not great. The purchase price climbs very fast once you step into SV Black and long wheelbase territory. Running costs are high. And if your main goal is rear seat pampering only, a Maybach GLS may give you a more obviously chauffeur-focused character for less money. Also, if you're the kind of buyer who wants the newest propulsion story and lower day-to-day fuel spend, Range Rover is already pointing toward its electric future with a waiting list for the full electric Range Rover. So some buyers may decide it is smarter to wait rather than spend deep into a V8 flagship right now. So would I recommend buying it? My answer is yes, but only for a very specific buyer. If you want one of the most complete ultra-luxury SUVs on the market, something that blends prestige, comfort, speed, technology, and genuine all-terrain credibility better than almost anything else, then yes, the 2026 Range Rover SV is absolutely worth considering. It feels like the luxury SUV for someone who wants to drive sometimes, be driven sometimes, and still go places that a Bentley or a Maybach owner probably would not even attempt. That is a rare combination. But if you are buying with your calculator first, then no, I would not recommend it. If you care most about efficiency, lower ownership cost, lower risk, or just getting maximum comfort per dollar, there are smarter buys. And if you love the Range Rover brand, but you are curious about where the technology is heading next, I honestly think waiting to see how the electric Range Rover lands is a reasonable move as well. That could be the more future-proof decision for the 2026-27 window. My final opinion? The new 2026 Range Rover SV is not just another expensive badge job. It is one of the few luxury SUVs that still feels engineered around an idea, not just an option list. That idea is simple: supreme luxury without losing capability, presence without vulgarity, and performance without destroying comfort. The SV Black especially adds a darker edge that a lot of buyers will love. So is it perfect? No. Is it expensive to buy and own? Absolutely. But is it one of the most desirable luxury SUVs in the world right now? In my opinion, yes, very easily. And that is why this SUV matters. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to the Car Analyst, because here we do not just react to car news, we break down what it actually means for real buyers. And now tell me, in the comments, would you take the Range Rover SV, the Maybach GLS, the Bentayga, or go all the way to a Cullinan?